And we're on. Looks like we're on. Okay. I think the mic's working. Sound's working. Okay. Now, oh, sorry guys. I was away for a while. I was busy with shit. I had a lot of stuff going on. I was busy working and dealing with a lot of crap online. Um, Also, guys, be sure. I know I mentioned this in a couple of my other videos to also check out my two videos that I've on rewarding ways. It's a get paid to website. You get paid to do all kinds of stuff, surveys, offers. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. This is a different topic. But I just was reminding you guys out there if you wanted to make some quick, easy money, it's a fun site. Sometimes you got to put in the work, but it's fun. And today's topic, this was from, good thing I saved his name. I hope he shows up tonight because he's the one that requested this. Hold on one second here. This stream is for Dio Brando. Dio Brando. I'm pretty sure he got that from the character, I think, Dio Brando. Yeah, for the fictional character. But anyways, that's his YouTube name, Dio Brando. This video, this stream, this live stream is dedicated to you. Um, it is, who is the greatest NBA basketball player of all time? Now, this question has been asked so many times, so much. I mean, I think they do it now in every single sport, every single, aspect of life. Who's the greatest doctor? Who was the greatest lawyer? Who's the greatest basketball player? Who's the greatest NFL football player? And the answer to that is like, not to be like, I'm not trying to cut things short with anyone, but like the answer to that question is really simple. No one is the greatest. There is no such thing. Um, there's been so many great basketball players. We'll stick to the subject at hand of basketball. There's been so many great basketball players over the years. Um, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Uh, I'm not a big fan of this guy, but Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Karl Malone. I mean, I could just go on and on. John Stockton, Jason Kidd, Oscar Robertson, Moses Malone, Tim Duncan, Larry Bird, um, Shaquille O'Neal. Just so many players to go through. Hakeem Olajuwon, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. Um, yeah, like I think it's one of those questions where like people just like they use it to fill in the time. Like it's literally a question that people use to fill in the time slot. Like what can we talk about for 30 minutes or an hour or 5 hours? Who's the greatest basketball player of all time? Um, I don't know. I just like the short answer. Like the short answer is nobody because it can't be proven. Who's the one definitive goat, greatest of all time goat. Um, it can't really be proven. It's not like a what do you call it? It's not like math or science where you can like break down something and say this is a fact. Like we know 4 plus 4 is 8. 1 plus 1's 2. We know those things. Those are facts. It's concrete based. It's solid. But when you ask a question like who's the greatest NBA basketball player of all time, that's like literally that's almost to the point where you're getting like it's a one of them subjective things where you can't just like sit there and say I know this one guy's more valuable than this guy, or player X is better than player B. um, every player brings something different to the table. It's no one player is alike. Every single player is unique in his or her own way, at any sport: basketball, football, swimming, whatever, golf. Um, so to answer that question, no, there is no such thing as a goat. I will, though, not trying to get too off far, too off, on the deep end here with the subject, but I think so many people nowadays, and I get so tired of this when I hear it all the time. So many people nowadays are prisoner of the moment, meaning they just go by whatever's hot right now. They don't do any research. They don't look back 20 years ago, which wasn't that long ago, or 30 years ago. They just go with what's hot today. And they say, oh, this guy's the best ever, like whether it be LeBron James or Kobe Bryant or whatever, Michael Jordan. People were like kind of stuck in this little bubble. And they don't like to go outside of like a 10, 15 year period, like it's 2022. Most people don't want to go back to the early 2000s or 90s. Definitely people don't want to go back to the 60s and actually look at some of the great players of the game, in NBA history. And it just seems just to me ludicrous that people are that closed-minded. Sports fans, I'm talking about, just sports related. When it comes to setting their ways on one player, like you'd be surprised if you walked around town or wherever you guys live and you asked somebody who's the greatest basketball player of all time. Probably about 60-70% of them people is going to say Michael Jordan. And then the rest are going to probably say LeBron. There's no coincidence with that. Michael Jordan, people's going to pick him because his name, his brand, Michael Jordan basically is Nike. Basically. I mean, he more or less is Nike. So everyone knows who he is. They watch the movies, the documentaries, Space Jam. They're going to either say him or LeBron. And you know why they're going to say LeBron next? Them two side by side. Because LeBron's current. He's currently playing right now. And he's the biggest name in the game right now. Hardly anyone's going to say Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Oscar Robertson, which they should include those guys. But it's just people are prisoner of the moment and they go by name, like brand names. Michael Jordan's a brand name. He is his own brand. So me personally, I don't think he's even close to being the GOAT. Michael Jordan, I don't think he's even close. There's been so many other players in the game that have done things at the highest level, ultimate level. If you want to be technical, Oscar Robertson, for those hardcore basketball fans out there, the guy, you could make a really strong case for him being best basketball player of all time, greatest ever. I mean, the guy could get triple doubles, he could score, he could do it all. He was a great passer, could get enough rebounds. I think he averaged 25 points a game, so he was in that 25 to 30 point zone. He was, I don't know. I would say he would have a better case than Michael Jordan. If we're just basing the players on what can they do, how versatile are they, can they, what do they bring to your team, your organization to make your team better? But this question, though, is literally one of those questions that's literally like it could go round and round and round and round and round and round. Who's the greatest? That's just not. It's literally impossible to say who's the greatest. Let's see here. But you could definitely make a case for some players. More of a case for certain players more so than others. Like, for example, Wilt Chamberlain. That guy's statistics are just through the roof. The dude scored 100 points in a game. For his career, he averaged over 30 a game. Just phenomenal. Most rebounds in history, most rebounds in a game, most points. I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of people are in love with the younger, newer generation. Guys like Jordan. Jordan's still kind of a part of that new generation, even though he's been retired a long time. Of course, LeBron, he's definitely new generation. And I just wish more people would educate themselves, sports fans, educate themselves on some of the great players of the game. There's just so many. Jerry West. I mean, there's just way too many players to even name. I mean, that nobody gives credit to. Elgin Baylor. I mean, there's just so many. Nate Thurman, just, a whole slew of just legends of the game that completely get overlooked, overshadowed by one or two men. Michael Jordan, and of course LeBron James obviously is up there too. Jordan, LeBron, and I don't know. I just think it's a shame that people are that. I guess you would call it forgetful, or in this case, it's not really forgetful. It's like lack of education on the sport, because they never even learn about some of these great players of the game, and it's just, I don't know. I think it's a shame if you call yourself a true fan of basketball, true fan of the NBA. I think that's really a shame. If you don't even know hardly anything about Wilt Chamberlain, I mean, and some of those other great, phenomenal players that I just mentioned. I think that's a shame. Again, guys, this is not obviously not a serious debate or topic. Obviously, there's way more important things in the world than who's the greatest NBA basketball player of all time. So this isn't like the most important topic, but it's a fun topic if you're a sports fan like myself and a lot of my friends are, my family. It's a fun topic, debating stuff like this. But it's a topic that you're never going to get you're never going to get an answer. It's impossible. You can't no, but there is no science or scientific measure on how to measure who the greatest basketball player is, or who the greatest boxer is, or the greatest baseball player. You're never going to get an exact detailed answer to a question like that. Like I said earlier, it's not like 4 + 4 equaling 8. It's not the same thing. I think that's why people are fascinated by these types of conversations, these types of topics and debates, because they know it's like a spinning wheel. It's just going to keep going round and round and round. It's like a mouse trying to run through the wheel. You're not going to ever get to the end. It's never going to come to an end. It's a never-ending question with a never-ending result. There's no result. I mean, it's almost like, I don't want to get too far off the topic, but it's almost like when you sit around the table and you say, "Man, I wonder what happens after we die." What exactly happens? The detail. Is it like we're asleep? Do we instantly appear in a different life, whether it be like a heaven or wherever, different dimension? Nobody can really give you 100% detailed answer. Nobody can be 100% certain on that kind of a question. It's the same kind of thing as who's the greatest basketball player of all time. It's just not. There's no answer to it. Now, is it possible, depending on how you measure greatness, or if you took some sort of a computer model and designed it to critique and judge, every aspect of the game of basketball by a specific standard? Is it possible there could be a formula that says, well, we think this basketball player, player X or player Z or whatever, is the greatest? Is that possible? Yeah, that's sort of the same thing, but that's the same thing as what analytics are, and that's stupid to me. I don't believe in analytics, so because I don't think there is a formula that says, well, this is the best, this is the worst. Again, you're starting to get in it's almost at that point you're getting in subjectives and objective things versus subjective versus objective, and it's like going to an ice cream shop and ordering a shake, and you get a vanilla shake, and you tell everybody it's the greatest shake ever. Nothing's better than vanilla. And then you got another guy around the corner that's getting a chocolate shake, and he's saying the same thing about the chocolate shake. Well, which is better? Obviously, when you get down to subjectives like that, you can't pick one and say, well, that's the best, or yeah, in your opinion, yeah, to you, it's the best. It's the best to you. It's the best to you. So. Oh yeah, hey Luke. Hope you're still in here. Honestly, you could, there is nothing wrong with that pick at all, Wilt Chamberlain. Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain. That's your GOAT, Wilt Chamberlain. Yeah, I've watched, I don't know, I think I've seen almost every Wilt Chamberlain film there is, man. And honestly, every single time I watch a documentary of film on Wilt, I am so impressed. I'm always speechless. I'm like, wow, the stuff that guy did was just truly remarkable, just amazing. I mean, scoring 100 points in a game, grabbing 55 rebounds in one game. One season he averaged 48.5 minutes a game, over 50 points a game for a whole season. Just so many incredible stats. All-time leader in rebounds. He probably would be the all-time block leader if they actually kept track of blocks throughout his career. Just a remarkable career. But yeah, let's see here. Luke Cash. Thanks again, Luke, for supporting the channel. Let's see here. Yeah, me personally, honestly, I mean, I know there's technically no like right or wrong answer. I guess there's no like you can't like say I know for sure that this guy's the greatest and be 100% for sure on that. My preference, like if I had to pick who I think has the best chance, the best candidate for being the GOAT, greatest of all time, I would probably pick Wilt Chamberlain. So Luke, I totally agree with you on that. Like if somebody like said to me, you got to pick one player, you can't pick, only one player, you can't pick anyone but one. As far as being the greatest of all time, I would go with Wilt, but that's just my opinion. Like I think his resume is the best. Oh, I appreciate that, Luke. Let's see here, dude. I love supporting your channel and try to mention you to folks online. Yeah. Oh, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, and I'd like to try to do more streams. I got a little busy and I was tired, and tonight I didn't want to do anything, but I thought, man, I need to do something, and I remember Brando mentioning this topic. I think it was my other stream 4 nights ago I did. He was asking about, maybe I could do a stream on greatest NBA basketball player of all time. So here I am. I'm doing it. But yeah, it's a fun topic. I enjoyed this topic, but it's not something that I would like to discuss all the time because it's such a silly thing when it comes to discussing who's the greatest of all time. In fact, I think this is the first time on my channel that I've even done a stream similar to this, about who's the greatest at this sport or this position. I usually don't do streams like that. I've had people ask, do requests like, oh, who's the greatest baseball player and stuff like that. And I still haven't done a video like that either. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like a dog chasing its tail around, trying to catch its tail. I mean, you're not gonna. I just don't feel like you're ever gonna get anywhere with a topic like this. It just makes for fun talk, good conversation. Comparing guys. I think the only thing you could do is sort of like how Galaxy does it. You could kind of eliminate guys based on who is better than that player. Like you could take Wilt Chamberlain, for example. Well, I think everybody pretty much knows that Wilt Chamberlain was better than Robert Horry or Ron Harper, players like that. You could eliminate guys based on who was better than them, but I don't really think you could just pick one player and say he's better than all. Nobody's close to this one particular player. Again, Wilt Chamberlain, though, I will admit, if you being completely non-biased here and neutral, Wilt Chamberlain, though, does have the best case, in my opinion, for being, at least he's got a legit case for being the greatest of all time. But yeah, I mean, and Luke, how many records does Wilt have? What does he have? 75, 72 current active records, I believe, that are still standing today. I mean, I think he's got a Wikipedia page just dedicated to his records. That's pretty crazy. I mean, he's got 72 records. That's right. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, yeah, I forget, there was a handful or more of team records, I think. Yeah. But majority of them were individual, I believe. I forget what the breakdown is. I'd have to look it up, but he's got 72 records and majority of them are individual, but he does got what is it? Is it 10, 12, something like that, team records along with there. But yeah, he's got, let's see here. Luke says, also there are many, many more. First place records. Oh yeah, his second place records. Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain. Yeah, exactly. It's not just his first place records, the rebounding and all of that stuff, points in a game. It's his second place records. It's his just his overall consistency. I mean, I think he ranks. I mean, Wilt Chamberlain's first and second and third and like fourth and fifth in a lot of these different categories. You know, it's unbelievable. He's not just like in first place in one category and then drops way off down to 30th place. He's like first, second, third in so many different categories. That's probably more impressive than just the fact that he has 72 records. Just how consistent he was. I mean, you know, like just really crazy. By the way, I was planning on here in the future, probably in the next day or so, was going to do a Wilt Chamberlain video. This video is kind of sort of tying into that. This is going to sort of tie into the Wilt Chamberlain video, actually. So it's kind of funny that you popped in here with Wilt Chamberlain, because I was literally thinking about doing a Wilt Chamberlain video, and I probably should have done the Wilt Chamberlain stream first. But I know Brando really wanted to see me do a stream on who's the greatest NBA player. Let's see here. Luke says, hold on here. Let's see, Luke has. There was 6 years in a row where he got at least 40 rebounds in a game at least once a year. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah. Let's see, Luke says. If you look at his game highs, even when he scored less and did certain things less, his best marks in those categories and individual games those years prove he still had it. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think it was when he won his second championship with his final championship. It was with the Lakers in 72. What was it in the championship game, the eliminating game where they beat the Knicks? His numbers were phenomenal. I don't have them right in front of me, but didn't he have like 24, 25 points, 24 points, something like that? Like 29 rebounds, was it? And like 8 or 9 block shots and like a handful of assists or something like that. And this was him near the very end of his career. I mean, and remember, I don't have the stats right here in front of me, but it was something like that, those numbers. And that was when he won the MVP, finals MVP. But yeah, Luke, exactly. Yeah. It was just, he did so much. He definitely deserved the finals MVP in 72. I mean, that's like the perfect game he had, just all that balance. The dude was like a couple statistics away from having like a quadruple double, you know, in the 72 finals. And I think it was the final game, game 5 or whatever. But yeah, I still to this day wish that they could have captured that whole game in the 72 finals, the championship game when the Lakers beat the Knicks, but didn't. Hold on here 1 second. Yeah, those Knicks teams were really good. They were pretty awesome in the early 70s. Hell, since then, that's the last time the Knicks have won a championship. What was it, 73? I think that was the last year that they won the championship. So like 49, almost 50 years ago. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, man. But yeah, those. Oh, Luke, I was going to ask you if I don't know if you know this or not, but do you know if there's any footage out there somewhere that captures the entire final game of that 72 finals, the championship game where Wilt had the 24 points and like the 29 rebounds and did all of that, and you know they beat the Knicks? Is there anyone that has the full game footage instead of like the first, what was it, 3 quarters? Something like that. I think they showed like the first 3 quarters, but I don't think like the fourth quarter was available. I would love to watch that whole game of the 72 finals, the final game, the last game. I think it was game 5 or whatever, game 5 or game 6. I would love to watch that, the whole game in its entirety. It's a shame, you know, Wilt Chamberlain, he wins his second championship, just completely kicked ass, tore it up that that whole series against the Knicks. Capped it off with that amazing final game. All the rebounds, the block shots, the points. Wins the Finals MVP, and they don't even show the whole game. Because broadcasting or whatever cut it off back in those days. It's like that just goes to show you Wilt Chamberlain's poor luck. He just never had good luck when it came to people promoting him. The guy, I don't know. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Brando, you're here. Yeah. This stream's for you. Yeah. So Brando showed up. Dio Brando. Yeah. But yeah, Brando. Well, I don't know if you know as much about this. Hold on here. That 72 Lakers team was very special, though. Worked together and defied all odds. Also a case for the greatest team of all time. Yeah, that Laker team does have a case for greatest of all time. Was that the year they won 33 games in a row? I think it was. I'm not sure. Yeah, that team was awesome, man. That team just doesn't. Yeah, you're right. That team, they don't get a lot of respect. It's always the Bulls, some of the Laker teams from the 80s, Showtime Lakers, obviously the Celtics. But yeah, those early 70s Laker teams, man, they were freaking awesome. I mean, I know I wasn't around back then, but I've watched a lot of footage of that team. And, oh, man, they were so fun to watch, especially when they had Elgin Baylor. Oh, man. Gosh, that was so cool. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, the 33-game win streak, 71-72 season, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Elgin Baylor start out playing that season, but he ended up retiring because of his health? So he missed out on getting his ring. He never got a ring. But if I'm not mistaken, the Lakers mailed him a ring just as a thank you to him, even though he didn't get to play and participate in the championship. I think they sent him a ring, the Lakers. Yeah. Yeah, I know when you look up Elgin Baylor's bio, his Wikipedia, obviously they don't give Elgin any credit for a ring. It says 0 championships. And does anyone know if he kept the ring that the Lakers gave him? I've heard rumors that he didn't even keep it because he felt like he wasn't worthy of it. I'd like to know that. And he's still alive. Or wait. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. No, Elgin Baylor died a couple years ago. Last year, I think it was. I had a brain fart there. No, he died recently. But does anyone know if Elgin kept the ring that they gave him? I'm not even sure if he kept it. I had a brain fart, guys. I was thinking of some other player. And but yeah, Elgin died recently, within a year or two ago, a year ago. But yeah, Brando, Luke, if you're in here, Luke Cash, do you know if Elgin kept his ring that they gave him, the Lakers? I don't think he did. I keep thinking he didn't accept it because he didn't feel worthy of it. Let me see here. But maybe he did. Did Elgin Baylor keep his ring? I don't even know why I care. It's not that important. But Elgin Baylor. Oh, he must have kept it because back in 2013, I guess he auctioned it off. Okay, so he kept the ring, Elgin. Huh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was just reading that about how he auctioned it. Yeah, Brando. Yeah. Okay. Again, I don't know why it matters, but I was just curious. I couldn't remember if he kept it or not. I just remember hearing that he wasn't I don't know. I think he was thankful and grateful that they did something like that for him, but he didn't feel like worthy of it. Like he didn't feel like he deserved it. I remember when they gave him the ring. I personally think he deserved it. I mean, he played for that team, and including even part of that season. I think he deserved that championship. But I know the history books say he has no championships when you look it up. Um, but yeah, I think he deserved it. You know, Elgin was phenomenal. He's another guy, like I said earlier, that gets completely overlooked. Um, there's just so many phenomenal players that have played the game that just don't get the respect, the credit that they deserve. So, well, guys, I think that's going to do it for this stream. I don't got anything else. Let's see here. Dio Brando. Dio Brando says Shaq also plans to buy all 11 of Bill's rings. What? Shaq is planning on buying all 11 of Bill Russell's rings? Holy crap. I did not know that. Is this just, did they just talk about this recently in the news or? Wow. That is crazy. Man, if Shaq were to buy all of them. Does Bill have any family though that would want those rings? Like, does he have kids, any children or uh, grandchildren, siblings that would, or because I don't really know a whole lot about Bill Russell's family, so. Uh, oh yeah, maybe his family might want to keep them. It's hard telling, Brando. His family might want to keep them. If that's the case, I mean, if the family wants to keep them, I don't think anybody can take them away or buy them unless they're put, like you said, unless they're put up for an auction. But drinking a Kool-Aid, cherry Kool-Aid. If Shaq were to get him, though, I'll be honest. Shaq's I think he's a great person. He would probably do a lot of respect to Bill Russell, and I'm sure he would treat it right if he were to get those rings. Shaq's a cool dude. He's one of those guys that you could just tell he loves helping people out. Have you seen how many times he's given free stuff away to people, whether it be shoes, money? Just you could tell Shaq enjoys helping people out because he knows what it's like to struggle. I think when he grew up, he didn't have a lot. Shaquille O'Neal when he was a kid. Let's see here. Let's see. He auctioned a few of them in Boston about a year ago. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that he had all 11, that he kept them all. Huh. That's really interesting. Did not know that. See, here's something I don't understand. Like, what I don't get is when these guys get these, like when these guys get older or even sometimes shortly after they retire, they have all these rings, these championships. Why do a lot of these guys sell them and like auction them off? I don't get that. I've heard of guys, football players, doing that with Super Bowl rings. It's like, wouldn't they want to keep that for theirself and like their family? Unless they're maybe tight with money. Maybe they blew all their money and they need to make money. I don't know. Let's see here. Brando says he auctioned off a bunch of stuff. I think he made about $5 million. Oh wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a lot of money. $5 million. And I don't think Bill Russell had a ton of money like some of these other athletes do today. So that 5 million probably came a long ways for him. Yeah. Oh wow, Kareem auctioned all of his rings, all six. You're talking about all six of his NBA rings? Huh. Didn't know that. Hmm. Yeah, a lot of guys I've noticed have been doing stuff like that. Um, Even like I said, Super Bowl rings. Oh, he auctioned four. Oh, oh, okay. Yeah, like even Super Bowl rings. I forget who it was. I heard of some big name guys auctioning off like Super Bowl rings and selling them for like a ridiculous amount of money. I think a Super Bowl ring's worth like more than NBA ring. I think it was like he sold this one dude sold his one Super Bowl ring for like $1 million, and it was just one ring. And it's like, wow. Either he just wanted to give it to someone because he knew somebody would cherish it, or he needed the money. I don't know. I don't think I would be able to do that unless I was like poor. Like if I lost everything, was broke, I would probably end up giving, or auctioning off a ring, a Super Bowl ring. But yeah, that's crazy. Let's see who we got in chat here. Don't recognize that person. Let's see. Brando says, I think rings are nice to have after you win them. But after a long while, they just become pieces of metal in your mind. Huh. Yeah, the memories of the championship are always there to cherish, and you can give the money to charity or to someone in need. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I get it. You don't, I mean, I guess technically you don't have to keep on to a piece of metal, to like prove to people, look, this is my value right here. This is my value, this ring, you know. Um, uh, I get that, but like, man, something like that's like so important, especially for a guy that, you know, spent his whole life trying to get, win a championship. Most athletes strive to win championships, and especially team sports. And it just seems kind of crazy to think that those guys just, in some cases, more or less give things like that away. um, but yeah. Let's see if we got anything else to go over here. I think I got everything covered on the greatest basketball player of all time. You really can't pick just one. Although, like Luke Cash pointed out in the chat, um, I'd have to lean towards Wilt Chamberlain if I had to give anyone the opportunity to be mentioned as GOAT, greatest. Um, I know, Brando, what was it, Brando? You said you prefer Russell, is that right? I don't know. I saw that story. What was it, about 7, 8 years ago? Wilt Chamberlain and that son of his. The dude looks a lot like Wilt Chamberlain. You'll have to watch the video. Well, if you haven't seen it, you'll have to watch it. It was an awesome video. He does look a lot like Wilt. Um, I don't know. I mean, if he slept with anywhere even remotely close, even like 5% or 10% of the 20,000 women that he said he slept with, I would say the odds got to be pretty good that he had a child somewhere along the way. I mean, you know, uh, I don't know. That dude looked a lot like Wilt Chamberlain. I forget his name, but they did an interview with him. And I guess he's like upset about how the Chamberlain family doesn't want anything to do with him. They're probably afraid that he wants money, but he basically said he doesn't want any money. He just wants basically closure and to uh, have a conversation with the family and, be close to them. But they're probably afraid that he wants money. So that, like, they basically have ignored the dude. Yeah, all three of them, you can't go wrong with any of the three of those guys. Robertson, Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, and Bill Russell. You can't really go wrong with those guys. I mean, those guys were phenomenal. Um, It's hard to believe Oscar Robertson is the only one that's still alive of those three. The Big O. Oh, and this is interesting. I don't know if you guys, I never mentioned this on my channel, but talking about old classic basketball players and legends of the game. Um, I live in Ohio. I live close to the Dayton area, which is about hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half drive north of Cincinnati. Something that's really cool. I don't know if you guys know this, but Oscar Robertson actually lives. He still lives in Cincinnati, Ohio. I figured he probably, when he retired, I figured he probably moved like to Florida, maybe, or California, or Arizona, somewhere like that. But no, he actually still lives here in Ohio, in Cincinnati, the Big O. They said you can see him every now and then at Cincinnati Bearcat basketball games, University of Cincinnati Bearcats. Every now and then you'll see him there. I think he has courtside seats, Oscar Robertson. But yeah, they showed his home in Cincinnati. Oh man, it is beautiful. He's got a really big, beautiful home in Cincinnati. But yeah, he lives in Ohio. I did not even know that all these years, when I followed Oscar and a lot of the great, classic basketball players of the past, and I never knew that he lives right here. I knew he played for the Royals, obviously, the Cincinnati. Was it the Royals? Is that right? I knew he played for the Royals, Cincinnati Royals, and then when he got a championship, he went up to Milwaukee, teamed up with Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But I didn't realize though that even when he retired and to this day still lives in Cincinnati. Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised Kareem picking Oscar, even though he had so much success with Magic Johnson in LA, those Showtime Laker teams. But I bet you that was probably a little bit. I bet you Kareem had a little bit of a tough time making that pick because all the success that him and Magic Johnson had together. But you can't, like I said though, you can't go wrong with picking Oscar Robertson. I mean, if you just want to go by statistics and statistics alone and nothing else, you could make a case for Oscar being the greatest basketball player of all time in terms of all around. I mean, how can you? It's hard to top a triple double. Yeah, that's true. His longevity for that generation was pretty unbelievable. Back then, a lot of guys just didn't play that long. Even Wilt Chamberlain, honestly, had a pretty long career. I mean, Wilt Chamberlain played, 14 seasons, I believe it was. Yeah, I believe that. He was freaking off the charts, Oscar. Yeah. But yeah, Wilt Chamberlain played 14 seasons from I believe 59 to 73, 1959 to 73. That's long. I mean, you got to remember, Wilt was a big man. A lot of times, bigger men, they have health problems. They get injured easy. And I still am completely blown away by this his minutes per game statistic. For his whole career, 14 years, what did he average over 45, almost 45 and a half minutes a game for his entire career? That's crazy. But yeah, Wilt Chamberlain. Like I said, though, I'm going to end up probably eventually doing a stream just on Wilt Chamberlain. I kind of wanted to do one on him first before doing this stream, but oh well. Because like I said, this stream kind of connected to Wilt, tied into Wilt Chamberlain. Because Wilt Chamberlain, I've said this before, as far as my favorite basketball player of all time, for me personally, it's a tie between two players. Wilt Chamberlain And I'm not just saying this because he had that tragic accident where he passed away, but Kobe Bryant. Wilt Chamberlain and Kobe Bryant have always been my two favorite players. You know, it's in fact I only own one NBA jersey, and go figure, it's a number 24 Kobe jersey. I'll have to show you guys the jersey sometime. It's the yellow jersey. It's real pretty. But yeah, Kobe Bryant and Wilt Chamberlain are my two favorites of all time. Let's see here, Brando. But yeah, that's true, man. He had his first 5 years. Oh yeah, let me pull up his numbers, Oscar Robertson. Let's see here. And the dude was freaking phenomenal. Yeah, let's look at his first 5 seasons in the NBA. Yeah, man, just looking at, like, I'll go down the stats. Points per game, I'll go 1 through 5, years 1 through 5. 30 and a half points a game, 30.8, 28.3, 31, 30 a game. Wow. Yeah, those. Let's see here. 1, 2. Wait. That's insane. Averaging over 30 points a game those first 5, 6 seasons. And then his assist, 9.7 a game, 11.4, 9.5, 11, 11.5, 11.1. Yeah, I mean, rebounds, he had 12 and a half one season. For his career, still pretty good, 7.5 rebounds a game. I mean, 25 and a half points a game as well. And 9.5 rebounds a game. Just a phenomenal career, Oscar Robertson. Just see. And also another player didn't even mention, Pistol Pete Maravich. Oh man, that dude was another baller. That dude was awesome. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, on the subs. Yeah. Let's see here. So, Brando, is your favorite player Bill Russell also, or do you just think he's the greatest? Like, I mean, you could always have two separate categories. You could have your favorite, you could have who you think the greatest is, and your favorite could be the same as who your greatest is, who your GOAT is. Like, do you have a, is it Bill Russell? I'm taking it. I'm assuming Bill Russell. See here. I might eventually also try doing streams on all the major sports and just break down, ask you guys, who do you think's the best, or the top 5, top 10 greatest at this, whether it be golf. I know a lot of guys don't get into golf, but I enjoy golf. I play golf and enjoy watching it. Let's see here also. Oh yeah, that's true, dude. No 3-point line. The dribbling was like limited back then. Like because of the referees were so back in those days. Traveling, you get called for traveling. There was back then. What was there? No palming the ball, carrying the ball. Let's see. Brando's favorites are. Let's see a few. Okay, yeah, Bill Russell, Kobe Bryant, Wilt Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, Dennis Rodman, Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady. Oh, that's a nice list of guys you like there, man. Yeah, yeah. I like most of those guys on there. I never was a big Rodman fan, but as I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate Dennis Rodman for what he did. When I was a kid growing up watching the Bulls, I hated the Bulls. And I hated Dennis Rodman growing up. I thought, oh, he's so annoying. I just thought the dude was like an antagonist. But then as I've gotten older, I've realized, well, he was good. He was great for what they asked him to do. Rebound the ball. He played great defense. He was great at getting in his opponent's head mentally. Remember, he used to piss off Karl Malone. Oh, man. Dennis Rodman used to get under Karl Malone's skin all the time. And Shaq. I forgot about that. Shaq as well. Dennis Rodman was man, he was definitely useful. He was definitely useful for what they asked of him. He was, I mean, he wasn't a big scorer, but they didn't ask him to score. You know, he was meant to disrupt the game, disrupt the flow of the game. That's for sure, Dennis Rodman. I remember as a kid growing up, I wanted Karl Malone so bad to just beat the crap out of Dennis Rodman when I was, you know, in the finals. Because, you know, growing up, I wanted to see Malone and Stockton finally get a ring. And I never forget that when Malone and Rodman were basically having a freaking wrestling match on the court during the NBA Finals. Remember, Rodman kept tripping Malone and they're falling down on the ground. Malone's getting up, falling back down. Oh, man, that was so funny. Yeah, that was like a freaking, and go figure. I think they ended up actually having a real wrestling match. Was it WWF, WWE? I think Malone and Rodman ended up actually wrestling. Which is fitting. It's fitting that they actually did end up wrestling in real life. But yeah. Yeah, Rodman. No, you're right. Yeah, Rodman had to do different things. He had to sacrifice stuff. Yeah, he was. Malone kind of reminded me like almost like the freaking Rock. He was like Dwayne Johnson. I mean, the dude was just a tank. You know. Oh man, he was like the Rock. Yeah. But yeah, I know Dennis Rodman. Oh man, I don't think Karl Malone got along with Dennis Rodman. Them two guys, that was so crazy. As a kid, as a kid, I wanted the Utah Jazz to win so bad both times, and here they lost both times in the finals, back to back years to the Bulls. But yeah, that was freaking that was so crazy that finals. And let's see what we got here on the surveys. 65. Well, guys, I think that's going to do it. I would love to stay on here longer, but I got a few things that I have to do. I literally have to actually take care of. Otherwise, I would be on here longer. I may or may not be back on later this morning. What is it? 12:30 right now. 12:30 in the morning. I got to take care of some stuff, work related, and I'll probably either be back later this morning or sometime later this evening. You know, tomorrow. So, and I appreciate any support, any and all support that you guys give me. Also, Dio Brando, Luke Cash was here earlier. I don't know if he's still here. Maybe he's listening. I appreciate any support that you guys give me. It helps the channel out. And also, I do requests like this stream here. This stream is for Brando. As long as I get your request, I don't mind doing any request. You could either do the request in the About section, email me, or in the chat, you could leave me a request, or down below here in the comments, you could give me a requested stream to do. Sometimes if I don't see it right away or I'm busy with something, I won't get back to you right away with the stream. Like I think Brando asked me to do a stream like this. This stream, what was it, like 4 or 5 days ago? But I'll eventually get to it. Like I said, I want to do more streams on topics similar to this. These are fun topics. No, they're fun. They're not, like I said, concrete 100% proof topics. Like you can't like prove either way on a topic like this who's the best, but it's still fun to discuss and talk about and just have a good time and relax. So Also, guys, I do this stuff just for fun, for free, also to help educate people on certain things that maybe they didn't know about, maybe make people laugh. Sometimes when I get carried away in some of my streams, but I've been trying to like not get so crazy. You know, I know it was like a couple of weeks ago I got drunk and I did a stream and and I was like, oh, that was just funny. Oh, we won't talk about that. But yeah, I think that's going to be a stream for this. I'm going to call this a stream. Wow, 55 minutes, 55 and a half minutes. I didn't even realize I was on here that long. Yeah, it's still up, Brando. It's still up. You could. Oh my God, man. I'm not sure if I should say it out loud because I don't know if people's paying attention to this stream, but I'll give you a clue without mentioning the name of the title. It's just down below. It's not on this page, you know, it's not on the top page, but the second page down below with the wrench. It's got a blue wrench as the picture, the thumbnail. And it's an hour and 13 minutes long, I think. It's over an hour long, and it's got the wrench on it. So you could, if you want, you could watch that. Yeah. I think it's my only stream on my channel that's over an hour long. So, yeah. Yeah. Yep, it's still up, though. Nobody removed it. So, yeah. Okay, guys. I'm going to end the stream here. This has been a fun night, almost an hour-long stream talking about NBA basketball and just all kinds of fun stuff. Let's see, what else was I going to mention? Also, I want to thank you guys again for any support, the subscriptions, the views, the likes. Give these streams a like. Really helps the channel out a lot. The interaction and, you know, engaging with you guys, it makes the stream more fun. Way more fun and exciting having people actually engage and talk and actually join these streams when I'm actually live. A lot of times people miss my lives and they watch the replay. So it's nice having people here to support this channel and my community. I should say our community. This is everyone's community. And that is going to do it. I'm going to call this a stream. Like I said, I'll either be back sometime this morning or later in the evening, afternoon hours. And this has been fun. You guys all take care out there and peace out, guys.